If you can squeeze in, if you have an empty seat next to you, move towards the center. We also have some seats at the front if anyone wants to fill in the front row seats. We're going to be starting in 2 minutes. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I was trying to light a fire. Hello, hello. Welcome, 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 everybody. We are going to get started. Thanks for coming out on this hottest week of the summer. When we planned this event, we knew it was going to be July. We knew it might be hot, but we knew this topic was important and people would come out anyways. We had over 400 people registered to attend tonight. You are the brave 200 who said, I'm actually going to be here and make an effort on a free ticket and RSVP to come. And we really do appreciate that here at the Dallas Housing Coalition. My name is Brian Toney. I am the Executive Director of the Dallas Housing Coalition. If this is your first DHC event, it's an honor to welcome you on behalf of our 500 members, our steering committee, our board, our staff and interns who've been working hard day in and day out to get this event ready for you tonight. We do host events quarterly, but this one went above and beyond, and they do deserve a lot of credit for putting this on tonight. So thank you, and thank them for coming. You'll see them in the DHC polos like mine around, and on your way out, give them a high five. We're really excited for tonight's program. On your way in, you should have received your People's Guide to Dallas's Housing History. Jerry Hawkins is going to give a presentation on that. We have a documentary, a full-length documentary that we're going to show you the first 5-minute trailer of to start off tonight. Then after Jerry's presentation, we'll have a panel with some esteemed guests that he'll introduce later. We'll have a Find a Neighbor and Map activity. Some of you participated in a mini version of this by sticking a sticky note on the map over there. We'll have a more in-depth version that's in the guide that you'll participate in and talk to your neighbors. Then a second panel on the future of zoning and housing in Dallas. We know that before we can change our future, create a more equitable one, we have to understand our past. And that's why you see all day, this exhibit's it's also, so you can go online, a story map will be interactive that you can share this website with, learn tonight, and then you'll be seeing these retractable banners again soon at our future community events. Our community organizers will come up at the end of the audience Q&A to announce our new zoning reform campaign. So I don't want to get too far into those surprises. I do also want to say thank you to the Hawkins Archives and Works and Jerry for co-publishing and authoring this People's Guide. It's been an honor to work with him on this project since September. It started over coffee and how he wanted to work with truth and healing transformation in Dallas, but bringing the housing lens to our work we know is going to be pivotal moving forward. Dallas Free Press is our co-publisher and provided editorial guidance on the guides that you have before you, so thank you to Carrie Mitchell and her team, and looking forward to helping us disseminate this guide alongside them in the neighborhoods that they work in, including South Dallas and West Dallas. Light and Deep has been great to work with. Kristy, thank you for the tech support today. We know it's been a lot of moving parts. We are live streaming this on our social media channels too, and it'll be saved on our YouTube. So Hexel, Colorado, and Dallas Urbanists, thank you for your tech support today as well. You just heard Jess Garland and Swan Strings perform the harp. Let's give it up for Jess. She can play harp and guitar at the same time. I don't know how, but it's amazing and beautiful every time she does. A la carte Catering brought out the food today. Out a hand for our food and our caterers for their service tonight. This event is part of a larger Dallas Housing History and Zoning Legacy project that is advised by a community-based group of members. So you can see their names in alphabetical by first name. They're also on the acknowledgements banner when you step outside. I would like to thank them for the time that they put in. We had 3 different meetings from January to March and again in June. They also received the final draft of the People's Guide, and they'll be continuing to advise us as we roll out the documentary. We think about how we continue to position ourselves as a coalition in this project in other ways beyond just this event. We do have our annual housing summit that will hopefully have the premiere of this trailer and this documentary. You're going to get a sneak peek tonight, and more to come through this Dallas Housing History project. So if you're not already, please do like, follow, subscribe, and tag us on social media posts and stories tonight. We'll have a hashtag, hashtag Dallas Zoning Reform, and hashtag Be My Neighbor. You'll know more about what that means by the end of the night tonight. So thank you again for coming out. The next presentation is our 5-minute trailer of reimagining housing in Dallas. We're going to dim the lights, we're going to watch this video, and then Jake Hochendoner is going to come up and moderate the rest of the evening. Thank you. We're having an audio issue. We're going to fix this real quick.
Availability of single-family homes and demand of population growth, generally in the state of Texas, is population growth.
With a population of 1.3 million people, Dallas is the 9th most populous city in the United States, and one of the most diverse. People come here to work, and that's important, right? People need jobs, but with that, we need housing. In 2025, the city lost more than 1,800 residents. One factor is a shortfall in homes and affordable housing.
We have this housing imbalance, availability of single-family homes, and demand of population growth, generally in the state of Texas, prices are going to continue to go up.
Our legacy of restrictive zoning and redlining, all these inequitable practices that led to a concentration of poverty. And that's exacerbated by the lack of affordable housing.
We're going to have low-income housing. That is something that is a given anywhere in the country. But we have not had great conversation about workforce housing. Those people who go to work every day, who work very hard, and are not able to afford somewhere to live.
Zoning can be restrictive or flexible. When you say single family only, duplex only, it limits the number of housing options, thus making things unaffordable.
We need to pull whatever levers we can at the state level to make sure that land use can occur most efficiently to promote affordability.
The story of housing in Dallas is changing. Dallas is short 46,000 multifamily homes and over 16,000 single-family homes.
When we talk about the missing middle housing type, specifically, I think about the level of density that we can achieve with more housing types.
By allowing a wider range of housing within the zoning code, Dallas can maintain a strong and diverse workforce and avoid the accelerating displacement and population loss to the suburbs. The city has to make a compelling case for not only businesses, but people to come here, and that's going to start with housing. Zoning changes in Dallas have had a complicated history.
The main purpose of zoning is to separate uses that are harmful, like industrial zoning, from where people live, okay? And that basic premise has been violated over and over again in the city of Dallas. And that protection for neighborhoods of color is just completely missing.
We're living here in an industrial zone. How do you put a category of industrial where you know that there are people living there? That's something that the city did.
That's a vestige of racism.
those things. And to be quite frank with you, we have not limited all of what has taken place.
With our authorized hearing of rezoning, it would prevent homeowners from just setting up shop right, because the area would no longer be industrial. We need those protections, because then we already see the harms that happen when industry is close to residents.
If you fail to zone it, to plan it correctly so that people could have a quality of life, then you're contributing to the destruction of the community.
So zoning is the big benefactor when it comes to knowing your history in Dallas.
Look at what we used to have. Everything was stitched together. And now, everywhere you look, there's a highway dividing Dallas. And in doing so, we destroyed a lot of great neighborhoods and preserved the ones that we felt were more important and disinvested all the others.
Segregation was a law. The zoning in various areas, and those were laws, ordinances. And so therefore, the laws have to correct these things.
We have to deal with how do we make sure that affordable housing stays here so that the people who are here can remain in their homes.
If you don't see any ethical dimension to the zoning code, then it won't happen. You know?
Therefore, those who benefited, you need to understand that you're going to have to be part of that, the correction.
The persistence of single-family zoning in large portions of the city has limited housing diversity, reinforced inequities in access to schools and transportation, and constrained economic mobility. We need to understand our history so we can move forward with a more fair and equitable housing future.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. Good evening. You all, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate you coming outside in this 100-degree weather, finding a park for those like me who park 2 blocks down the street because it's free parking down there. I'm not paying for no parking to develop, you know. I really appreciate you all. My name is Jake Hawkins. I see many friends and family in this audience. For those who don't know me, I'm just tell you really quickly some of the things I've done so you can get a glimpse of why I'm in front of you. I'm a co-founder of a place called Bachman Lake Together. Bachman Lake Together is an early childhood collective impact initiative. We opened this place in 2015, really proud of it. And one of the central issues for these moms who lived in Bachman Lake was housing. All right, it was the first issue that came up, particularly because Bachman Lake is not a blighted community. It is a very dense community. However, there are housing issues, particularly with landlords that are non-residential and didn't take care of the places, and so many other issues. I also have recently run an organization called Dallas Truth, Racial Healing and Transformation, where we were partners of Dallas Housing Coalition, and really proud of this one thing I have to share, which is the Recovering the Stories documentary series. It just won an Emmy last year, so I hope that you all go check that out. It's the first comprehensive documentary series about Dallas history in 40 years. There's 6 episodes, and it's about 6 different communities in Dallas. We did a couple things there, and I want to say that this was a community effort. We had over 300 partners. We gave out over $3 million for racial equity work here in Dallas, and much of that work is still happening. Let's see, next slide, because it's not working. Let's see if they can do that. All right. Currently, I have a lot of jobs, y'all. I'm like some of y'all in here do too, so don't be laughing. I know y'all. I'm executive director of Chicago United for Equity during the week. During the weekend, I am Director of Equity Initiatives here at First Unitarian. And sometimes I do futurism work at an organization called Future Good. I'm a visioning strategist there. And what I want to tell you today is that this is a futurist project that we're doing. So that's why this is really important. Today we're going to talk about how somebody created a future for us that we are now trying to rectify. So we actually have an opportunity to create a different future, and I want us to think about that as a future project. Let's see, next slide. Currently, I am doing a passion project, and it's called the Hawkins Archives and Works. And I started archiving here in Dallas, so Dallas is a very important place. When I got to Dallas, the first thing someone did to me about a book was whisper in my ear. And they said, "You need to read the accommodation." I had never in my whole life had somebody whisper to me about a book like it was illegal against the law, right? For the first time, I felt like, folks who said it was illegal to read, right? They sent it to me in a Dropbox that was locked. I'm serious. This is 2011. And it was a PDF. And we were illegally printing out this PDF, reading this book. So I said, we got to dig into this history. And that's what we started to do. So currently, the Hawkins Archives and Work has over 1,000 books, including one of the largest private collections in Dallas, which is now being housed at First Unitarian Church. And we're going to open it up in September to any independent researcher to go check those books out. And I got stuff that y'all haven't seen. I know y'all do. Magazines, vinyls, postcards, cassettes. I'm excited that the Nashville let me write something called Archive in the Future about some of that work. So you all can still read that. It's on the Nashville's website. And also we've done some pop-up exhibits. I did this one about hip-hop because I'm a child of hip-hop, particularly around centering Dallas's hip-hop legacy, which we all need to dig into. But I want to tell you all a quick story based on this question. The question is, are we in a housing crisis now? And if we are not saying yes to this question, then we don't know what's happening. I want to tell you all something personal. I am myself housing insecure right now, right? I have a place in Chicago, right? But I don't own a home. My parents came from the projects in Chicago. They didn't pass down a home to me. My mom actually owns a home, but family members live in the home, right? Like many of you all, right? I don't have a home in Dallas where I also work, right? So what I want to say to you all is if you all are not millionaires, you all are closer to being homeless than to being rich and in a state, which means that we have to deal with the reality of what housing is. It is less available to people to own a home now in their younger years, and we're talking about 20s and 30s. People are buying their starter homes at 40 now, right? So we have to really dig into this. And how did we get here? I like bringing up this report from 2018 because it shows a chart that many of us have really never reckoned with before. And what it says is the population has grown in recent years. By 2050, Black and Hispanic residents of Dallas County are projected to make up approximately 80% of Dallas County's population. And 88% of the 3.3 million Dallas residents will be people of color. Do we think because of our history we're ready for this? We are not. Look at this chart. It's a chart that's off the charts, right? That shows that as the Metroplex grows, Dallas population is getting more Black and brown. Now, I don't know about you, but this means that we have to create more housing for these people to live. These people meaning us, because it's going to become more unaffordable for us to live here. Let's go down the list, right? In 2023, Dallas led all metro areas in population growth, adding almost 150,000 residents, right? This is my literature review, you all. I'm doing my best, Daniel and Beshara. We're gonna talk to them in a minute, right? Dallas-Fort Worth leads all metro areas in population growth. Not only that, there's a prediction, and we need to be making our predictions, Dallas could be the biggest metro in the US by 2100, right? Also, Texas has the most black people out of any state in the country by population. Mississippi is still the blackest state by percentage, but not by population. They're here in Dallas. They're here in Texas. But Pew found that Dallas area is high and listed for metros divided by residential income segregation. Not only that, Dallas had the worst income inequality by neighborhood in the United States. It keeps going. We rank dead last when it comes to economic inclusivity. And that's around people being upwardly mobile, right? We're gonna throw this in there too, why not? Worst voters in the country. That means that if you're voting, your vote is like 10 votes, right? You are very powerful if you vote here, right? Only 6 to 10% of registered voters vote in Dallas, right? This is in the last 10 years too, we've had one of the most segregated school districts. It's still 90% plus black and brown, right? A few years ago, we had the highest child poverty rate. We've done something about this, so this has come down, but this has not been alleviated, right? Dallas' poverty problem, though, is a segregation problem. It is directly tied to housing, right? This is a map that just shows you, the one on the left shows you upper income, and you can see, though, the majority of those households are white. Lower income, the majority of those are non-white, right? We have a big problem. Go to the next slide. Okay, here we go. 95% of mostly upper income areas are dominated by white households, right? That means that in your lifetime, in your kids' lifetime, you may not see this if you are not racially identified as white, because that's also a made-up term. We'll talk about that at another session, right? And there's a wide gulf between income and home values that defines the racial wealth gap in Dallas, right? So even if you own